A lot of interest, that's for sure. But welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to talk about how to get 1.75% APR financing on a Tesla. Yes, it exists. Yes, it is actually out there. It's actually pretty interesting because it kind of goes in line with what was just shared. So it exists. You have to do it a certain way. Maybe it's not going to be applicable to most of you out there, but it does exist. And so let's highlight it. Let's talk about it. And what does this actually means? If you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. All right, so let's take a look at this. Spoiler, it is on the Model 3, not the Model Y. I know a bunch of you just said, oh, darn. But the Model 3, and what happened recently or yesterday is that the Model 3 came out with this $349 a month lease. Before that, it was at $399. Before that, it was at $449. And before that, it was $499 a month. And what's really interesting with this is once you jump down to the details of the lease, it's $4,500 months down, 36 months, it's $349 right here. And if you change it to 24 months, it's still $351. So this is, to quickly summarize this, I think this is a good option for someone that, is really pressed on technology and wants like hardware for Project Highland, all that stuff. This is a good 2-year lease. You could wait it out until the new Model 3 comes out, and then you can dump this one and give it right back to Tesla because you want that new hot Tesla. But this is where the lease actually breaks down, and this is where this 1.72% APR actually lives. So if you take a look at the details here, base price that they just reduced yesterday by $500, 43,490, 10,000 miles, 36 months, $4,500 down payment, and a low, absolutely staggering low. This is like 2021, 2022, 2020, 2019 low. I've never seen rates this low, but 1.72% on a lease. And how are they getting there? I have a hunch that Tesla financing, because when you finance or once you lease through the actual OEM, I think the captive is what it's called, the captive lender or Tesla financing gets that $7,500 tax credit from the government. And most OEMs like BMW, Audi, Mercedes, I think, BMW for sure, will then pass that $7,500 credit to you as like a line-by-line discount off of the deal. But I guess Tesla is doing something a little bit differently. They're using that money, probably not all of it, but not the full $7,500, but they're buying down the rate on the lease. And that's how they're able to get to that low $349 a month payment. But I don't think this is enough. I think Tesla, maybe has to get to like a 1%. I mean, but no one's like us, right? No one's like us where we go into the exact details of the actual lease and look at like the 1.72% APR and be like, oh, that's great. But no one's like that. So what people do look at is look at the monthly payment, right? They look at the purchase price, they look at how the deal is actually structured there. And so I think they need to show a $299 month lease, because once it starts with the 2, people get, like, oh, what is that? But now that it starts with like a 349, it's like whatever, in my opinion. Or they have to get to below $40,000. I think if they can get to a price of $39,999, and then you factor in the tax rate, it's like a low $33,000 or $32,000 car. That's where I think Tesla will be able to sell vehicles. And because, spoiler alert, Tesla has, a slight issue right here. There's 309 Tesla Model 3s in inventory in stock, and this number just doesn't change. It still stays in that 300 to 400 every single day. And you can see even right now, there's a demo 2023 that's red with black interior. Red costs more, but it has a $2,330 discount. If we take a look at some of the inventory charts for the Model 3, they're still up there as well. Like, I don't think they've fallen at all. And so I really feel like Tesla needs to do something to try and, all the focus is on the Model Y right now, right? Model Y was the slick deal. And even someone just asked earlier how, like, should they spring $4,000 for the Model Y? I don't think that spread is enough. It needs to be bigger. And I think the only way to do that is, I guess, raise the price of the Model Y, which they're doing, or decrease the price of the Model 3. I think the Model 3 Standard range needs to start with a 3, and that's the thing that the Model 3 standard range has been in that price range before. If we take a look at what the range or the starting price of the Model 3 standard range started at when it first came out was $37,000. It trickled up to like $40,000, maybe back down to 37. So it's in their striking range. They've done it before in the past, so why not bring it back if they can to sell some cars? But we're not saying that Tesla will do this right away, but I can certainly expect, as I predict, that Tesla will raise the price from the Model Y long range $500 to $1,000 to $1,500 at a time, as they've done, because you can take a look at it here. This is in the price history chart. You can see itemized every single time. $500 increase, $500 increase, $1,000, $2,000 increase, all the way up as it went up to like 56, 57. The biggest price increase on the Model Y long range was a $3,000 price increase. So Tesla's got that in their arsenal. They've done it before in the past. They can easily do it again if they want to. But going to the Model 3 side, it's a little bit of a different story. 500, 1,000 on all stuff. So they probably won't do it right away. They'll probably trickle down 500 at a time just to test the market, right? See if Model 3 standard range will actually sell. But it's super interesting that they are able to come out with a 1.72% APR. Absolutely insane. I think I need to make a post about this and highlight, because that's unheard of at this point. The best rate right now is 2.5%. Down below in the description, or check out yesterday's video if you want to figure out how to get there. But the best rate right now is 2.5%, showing a 1.72%. That needs to be highlighted more so that they can sell more vehicles. And the funny thing with this is that it's only on the Model 3 standard range. If you switch to long range, 5.9%. Switch to performance, 6.12%. Switch to Model Y, 5.97%. Performance, 5.69%. So they're literally using the $7,500 tax credit. That's my speculation. That's my guess, to push down the lease payments and to get that down to a low $349 or $351 payment. So my question to you is, do you think this is a good deal? Do you think it also needs to start with a $299? I'm talking about that monthly lease payment. Are you considering leasing now? Because I really think like it only makes sense if you absolutely want that Model 3 Highland, but you need a car right now. Just do a 2-year lease, ride it out, use it as a daily driver. Give it back to Tesla. Say Tesla, take your trash back. I don't want the old Model 3, and then move on to the next one. So hopefully that makes sense. But crazy stuff. 1.72%. That's for sure. But yeah, let's jump into some of the comments and some of the questions. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price, including some interest rates as low as 2.5% all the way up to 4% from 60 to 80 months. So definitely check it out. And as an added benefit for Patreon members, I respond to all DMs or direct messages in the Patreon app for any questions that you have that you want to ask, and I respond pretty promptly. So and I do that as a benefit for the Patreon members. But let's jump into some of the comments. But if you're just joining in, I know the thumbnail says about Model Y inventory, but that was the first thing we talked about. And spoiler alert, Model Ys are selling out. If you don't know what to do, go to waitingfortesla.com, try and find one. Maybe even consider switching to Model Y standard range, because that might be the move. If you are locked in, you need a car and you need that $7,500